Hey there, art weirdos. Welcome back to part 2. We're going to paint Ophelia now, or did. This is future Amanda, looking at past Amanda as she paints. I realized last time I didn't talk very much about what I was actually using, and by talk about I mean I didn't tell you at all. This is a Strathmore Gemini 140 pound paper. I can't remember if it's rough or cold press, but I think it's rough. The drawing was actually transferred from my original sketch using Kohinoor 9B woodless graphite, best pencils in my opinion. And the inking was Speedball Indie ink. So now that we are painting, I'm using, my palette is a combination of Core and Daniel Smith paints, mostly Core. I'm a little bit biased because they're my hometown brand, but I like them. A lot of people think they're crazy and uncontrollable, but I am the naughty printmaker, so I like the crazy and uncontrollable, and I don't do things the right way anyway, as evidenced by this giant pool of water I am painting with my tiny size 6 brush. Most of my brushes are smaller. Because they're travel brushes. My palette off screen is also the portable painter. Trying to live a slightly more minimalist lifestyle, which is difficult when your main medium is printmaking. So I try to keep my watercolor kits very, very small, very easily traveled. I take them out hiking a lot. Oh look, there's a paint splatter above her hand. Why am I not cleaning that paint splatter, you ask? Well, upon reviewing the footage, it turns out I didn't notice it for a good 20 minutes. But this is considerably sped up, so I will notice it. Right about... There we go. Alright, keep it cool. You're a professional. You can do this.
I just made it worse. Fuck you.
Alright. Well, let's leave that ink splatter there for now, or paint splatter there for now, and come back to it later while we continue on. So, Miss Ophelia was actually created specifically for a show, January 9th through February 28th, 2020. She'll be on display in the gallery at the Tech Garden on Harrison Street in Syracuse, New York. Opening reception is the 9th from 5 to 7 if you want to go see her hanging in all of her fishy glory. I've seen a few shots from the show so far. It looks pretty awesome. One of the cool things about the Tech Garden is that they're family-friendly all-ages shows. So there were actually some child artists hanging there as well. And a lot of general fish art. I don't know if Ophelia is the only fish person there or not, but I've seen some pretty awesome nature artists' fish art that's part of the show as well. So it's definitely worth checking out if you're in the Syracuse area. So we're going to fade out to a new camera angle. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to set everything up. I have a window that catches light, natural light all day, right at my desk, and trying to figure out the best setup that also leaves me not having to do gymnastics and contortions around the tripod. I think I'm going to set up one of those overhanging things for overhead shot. And I do apologize. This camera angle was, I thought, a brilliant idea, except when you're standing in front of the light source, Manda, you're gonna cast shadows as you paint, which is why you set the tripod up on the other angle the first time. Lesson learned. The sun's also going to get a little wonky here later on in the painting, so pardon the giant glare off my ceramic palette dish. So my camera battery died, and it doesn't notify me when it's getting low, just when it dies. So let me talk about what I did here to finish her up. I went in and painted approximately 6 million more willow tree leaves. Popped in some more ink outlines just to contrast that a little bit more. And I went over her skin with Gansai white gold. And one last thing I did is I actually ended up having to crop her. I didn't measure my frame when I bought it at the store because I'm dumb, and I thrift all of my frames because I like the older vintagey feel. We have a really great thrift store in town. So I actually had to cut her down to 8.5 by 11. This is a document frame, not a proper 9 by 12 frame. So I did end up cropping her in a little bit. But there she is, framed and gorgeous. Thank you for watching and joining me on this little Ophelia journey. If there's anything else you'd like to see, let me know. Leave a comment. I think our next video will probably actually be a printmaking video. Who would have guessed? Thank you. Bye.